Welcome to Maritime with Ezinne. My name is Ezinne We'll be bringing you a new entrant in the maritime industry.
We are getting people to realize that maritime does not start and end with the seas.
We'll be looking at the very important transport document.
85% of the Earth's surface is water.
ABC of shipping is the first port of call because that gives you the whole knowledge of what to see.
Nothing done by man is perfect. You can't give 100% where goods are cleared out of customs control.
The key job of customs anywhere in the world is trade facilitation, not revenue drive.
Hello everyone, this is Explaining Maritime Laws on Maritime with Ezinne. And today, our guest is an accomplished lawyer and professional in the maritime industry, Chief Barrister Osuala Nwagbara. He is a lawyer, and today he will be addressing issues that border around the very important transport document, your Bill of Laden. So join me as I welcome my guests, Barrister Nwagbara. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much.
The issue before us, Bill of Laden, the transport document. It's been a very convoluted argument, by various people who seem not to understand what it's about. So could we just go straight to what the Bill of Laden is actually?
Thank you very much. Bill of Lading is a document issued by a ship owner through the master of the ship or another authorized agent of the owner, acknowledging that certain goods have been laden on board a ship to a named consignee or receiver at a named port, usually in another country of the receiver, that is the country of the receiver, usually in another country where the receiver resides.
Okay, so how important is this to the maritime trade, imports, exports? Why must we go through the hurdle of filling the Bill of Lading and going through it for customs clearance?
The Bill of Lading is the most important transport document as far as transportation by sea, and even today, partly by land and partly by sea, is concerned. It is a very important document because it confers title on the receiver of the goods that are laden on board the vessel. It's also an evidence that the goods have actually been received by the carrier for carriage to the consignee. And it could also serve as a document of contract. It will contain the contract between the parties, the receiver and the ship owner, or evidence of contract. I need to explain this. If it is the contract document itself, it will contain every agreement between the receiver and the ship owner. You don't have to look elsewhere for the terms of the agreement. That is where the Bill of Lading serves as contract document. If it serves as evidence of contract, it means that the Bill of Lading will refer to another document, like a charter party, where you would have to see what the parties to that transaction of contract of carriage have agreed as to the terms of the contract. That is the importance of Bill of Lading to maritime transport. Now, let me give you a little bit of the history of the origin of Bill of Lading.
I was coming to that because it actually sounds like there was a quarrel somewhere some time ago before everybody now agreed, oh, let's have Bill of Lading so that everybody's, area is stated and will not have any hassles. So
Yes.
What's the origin of all this?
Yes. Originally, ship owners would collect cargo from all manufacturers, sellers, and have them board the ship with the goods and moved from different to different ports in different countries, delivering to those who are buying and those who have placed orders physically. And you can imagine the amount of risk to the goods, to the owners, to the ship, and to the nautical personnel. So a lot of risk was involved, where people who sell goods, who manufacture goods, will have to load the goods on the ship, board the ship themselves, and go with the ship to different parts of the world selling. And each time people placed order, they would come back, manufacture, and then make the journey again to different parts of the world. Sometimes it would take months before the ship would return to destination. Over time, the merchants discovered that it was becoming too unwieldy to go to different parts of the world, spend time, come back, go again. They lost time.
So it was
to
more
produce.
of a profit call, a business call for them.
So it was a big problem for them. So they devised ways. How do we eliminate some of these challenges? Then they agreed to have this paper they call Bill of Lading. Bill, like a document showing you have received. Lading, that it has been placed on board. So they called it Bill of Lading.
Okay, in other words, you're saying that the Bill of Lading confers a lot of rights on the shipper himself?
Not the shipper,
Not
now,
the shipper.
the receiver.
Okay, we'll come back to that, but let's go on a break.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break.
Without signature, without date, without making them consignees on the document signed with date, the shipper can easily amend the manifest of the ship and sell the cargo to another person.
Welcome back to Explaining Maritime Laws on Maritime with Ezinne. And in the house today, we still have Barrister Nwagbara. Discussion is on Bill of Lading. He's told us that it is the most valid transport document. So, Barrister, before we went on break, you were talking about the rights conferred to the importer
the receiver or the importer
by
the Bill of Lading Act of 1855 in England.
Okay.
That law still operates in Nigeria today.
Okay. So what are the rights would find the receiver having? What are the rights?
The right is that the receiver, so long as he gives value for the goods, he has a right of claim in the event of loss or damage to the goods against the carrier of the vessel.
Okay.
That is the right that he has, so long as that Bill of Lading was transferred to such a holder by way of endorsement.
Okay. Are there any types of Bill of Lading, or is it just the same one we use?
Broadly, there are two types of Bills of Lading.
Okay.
You have the shipped Bill of Lading and received for shipment Bill of Lading. Okay. Shipped Bill of Lading means that at the time that the master signs the Bill of Lading and dates it, the goods have been laden on board. Received for shipment Bill of Lading means that as at the time the master issues and signs the Bill of Lading, the goods have been received by the shipping company, but they have not been laden on board, and they may never be laden on board. And the implication, particularly in letters of credit transactions, where you have the application of the that is the uniform customs and practice of documentary credit. The implication is that where you have shipped Bill of Lading under letters of credit, you could actually continue to sell your cargo. You could sell your cargo actually, and the buyer could sell And you keep selling until it gets to the final receiver without even seeing the goods, because the letters of credit with the bill of lading, the invoice, and other documents like insurance, they are like delivery of the goods itself. It's a symbolic delivery, because whoever is buying is sure that the goods are laden on board. And everybody endorses this bill of lading. I could endorse to you, you endorse to the next person. So long as they keep giving value, you could sell to 10 persons before it gets to the final receiver. The banks will readily support the financing of such transactions. But in receipt for shipment, nobody is sure that the goods were laden on board, and nobody would finance such a transaction.
Okay, what's the implication of all this on the clearing of the cargo? You know, what's
a clearing point, a clearing process? It's very important for people who import cargo to ensure that the bills of lading given to them are received bills of lading.
Okay.
And that they are signed and dated. Otherwise, it is a draft bill of lading they are dealing with. A lot of people come to me in the office and tell me they have bill of lading. I look at it, what they have is draft bill of lading. And they cannot clear that consignment until a telex release has been given by the shipper. So the shipper still withholds all the rights concerning who takes delivery of the cargo. By the time they have difficulties clearing the consignment, they would find that what they have actually is a draft bill of lading. Is not a bill of lading that confers right on them. Without signature, without date, without making them consignees on the document signed with date, the shipper can easily amend the manifest of the ship and sell the cargo to another person. It doesn't matter that you are holding a draft bill of lading. A lot of these importers in Nigeria today they run risk of losing their cargo, and in fact, many have lost their cargo because what they call bill of lading is not bill of lading. They must have a contract with their shipper, that's the exporter, and that contract must show that they have agreed with their shipper to send to them shipped bill of lading as consignees, and that the bills of lading are signed and dated, showing that the cargo has been laden on board. With them as consignee in this kind of situation, nobody can change them. Even if they are owing on the cargo, they can only be liable to pay the debt on the cargo and not lose the cargo, because the man could easily take back the cargo.
Okay, thank you, Barrister. If we could stay all the day, talking about Bill of Lading, because it's very important.
Very, very important
to trade, to international trade.
Yes.
But this is all we can take at this moment, and we're grateful you found time to be with us today, sir. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to be here, and I would like to be here another time.
All right.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So this is all we can take on Explaining Maritime Laws with Ezinne. And thank you for staying tuned. See you some other time.